Hey guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today we're going to talk about some topics going on with the Nintendo Switch. None of this is probably all that new, because a lot of this was last week information that I just took my sweet precious time getting up. So a lot of you have probably already seen that Nintendo has announced how they're going to do voice chat, at least for Splatoon, but they showed how you're going to have to hook your cell phone to the Switch and then to the headset, and it looks like a jumbled mess. The only part that wasn't really talked about was if this is how the online is going to be for the long term, which we're going to get into that here in a second. Because it is really cumbersome to have your phone open, draining your battery from multiple devices just to be able to communicate for this one game. Now, Nintendo hasn't really put up their online service. Like, their service isn't fully functioning yet. So, this is possibly going to change. However, this is where the bad news comes in. Their online service has been delayed till 2018, which means you'll still have free online until 2018, which is great and all, but Nintendo's only charging $20 a year for their online. That's also been announced now. $20 a year. That is a steal compared to Xbox Live and a steal compared to PlayStation. Now, in the same return, Nintendo's online features have never been what Xbox or PlayStation's have been, so by all means, they should be charging much less. Now, when we put it in comparison, if I still have to, when this launches, hook up my cell phone to the headphones along with the Switch, that becomes super inconvenient, and at $20 a month, I guess I can tolerate that, but come on, Nintendo, seriously? You're a tech company. To some degree, you should be able to handle this. We'll see what comes of that, and if that's what their long-term goal really is with the Switch, because I don't foresee once their online comes out for it to stay that route. I personally think this is just a short-term thing while the online is getting finished up. Hopefully. Now, they did reveal that you will be getting NES games with your monthly subscription. Sort of like a NES Netflix. Yeah, which is kind of cool, right? Like, I would enjoy that. But here's where this gets even more confusing then. Is NES going to be the only thing on your virtual console? Because it's going to come with which they also stated that SNES games might come to that as well. Which I would love to get all the NES and SNES games free with my $20 monthly subscription. That's fantastic. That's awesome to be able to play all of that and enjoy that entire grouping of catalog there for that price. That's also depending on what all they're going to add to that library. I mean, obviously they showed off like Mario 3 and Bubble Bobble and stuff along those lines, the really big titles that are on the NES Classic, keep in mind. But what else is going to come to it? Is this going to be the full NES library? Are you going to attempt to at least get a majority of the NES library that you're not going to have to pay licensing for? Personally, I would really love to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade games come over to it. That would really make my day. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that because I know Nintendo probably doesn't want to have to deal with licensing, and I know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle licensing is kind of difficult to work out now, mostly because it's now owned by Nickelodeon. So, those are kind of questions that haven't really been discussed and stuff that Nintendo's kind of just left blank. The other thing that really I've got a lot of questions about now from Nintendo are when are the GameCube games coming? Supposedly there was a rumor going around that they were testing to see how GameCube games would run on the Switch. Is there still going to be a full virtual console? Obviously, I'd still like to buy GameCube. I would still like to buy a lot of these different games. Technically, they could even do a Wii virtual console on there, seeing as that they do have motion controls built into the Joy-Cons. I really don't know, though, what their game plan is, nor have they really dropped many hints about it. It's not like we have a leak of a GameCube game running on a Switch. But I would love to get the Metroid Prime games again on the Switch. I would love to play Luigi's Mansion again on the Switch. I would even really like to be able to take the N64 back catalog with me on the Switch. That would be pretty sweet. They did announce that they would be building in online multiplayer into the NES games. So like if you had a Switch and I had a Switch, we could play them together off of the two Switches, which is kind of cool. So, I mean, the thing I would really kind of hope for at that point is give me Perfect Dark. Well, no, you're not going to give me Perfect Dark, but like GoldenEye or something like that. That'd be awesome to have a whole bunch of Switches set up, and then we're all playing GoldenEye against each other right there on our Switches. That would be like a dream thing for me. Dream come true. I could relive my childhood. I was in like 6th grade when the N64 came out, which makes me feel really old. But yeah, that'll be really interesting. I turned 30 this month, unfortunately, and I'm still playing Nintendo games. So there's still a lot of variables that we don't know, but thankfully we're still going into E3. Nintendo's going to have their Nintendo Direct, and then they already announced that they have tomorrow will be a special Pokemon Nintendo Direct that's only going to be like 8 minutes long. It's 8 minutes is what we're going to get. So it's something Pokemon for the Switch that they didn't want to wait till E3 for, and who knows what it's going to be. Maybe they're going to have a Pokemon game like that available at E3, available during E3, and no one knows. Could be Pokemon X, could be Pokemon Y. I assume it's probably going to actually have to do with Sun and Moon, so whatever the one of that they're going to name for the Switch would be. Or maybe they're bringing Pokemon Go to the Switch. I don't think they would do that. I don't think it has enough active users anymore for them to want to keep pushing that, especially not for their home console or portable console, whichever way you want to look at the Switch. But all this kind of builds up to we're going to have a really exciting E3 this year, guys. And I look really forward to what all of them are going to be able to do. And I think Xbox and Nintendo are going to have the biggest amounts to prove. And those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most. I'm not saying Sony's going to have a bad one, but I think we've got some interesting stuff coming from Nintendo, especially because Nintendo likes to give you bits and pieces without giving you the full amount. And then Microsoft just keeps their damn mouth shut until E3. So we'll find out what's going on, guys, soon. And I look forward to covering E3 with you. And stick around because I'll have plenty more content coming for you soon, guys. See you soon.